Hello golfers, Jess Frank coming to you from the Jess Frank Golf Academy YouTube channel. And a little South Florida rain doesn't stop me from bringing you great golf content that you can use in your game immediately to make yourself better and have more fun on the course. Today we're going to talk about how to hit your irons pure and high and far, and a couple components that go into you doing those things. So basically when we set up to the ball, it begins in our setup, okay? So many people get set up to the ball poorly, and that's why you struggle with hitting your irons. And so I see a lot of people at address with their right arm higher than their left, okay? That puts my shoulders too far to the left, and we want to make sure that when we're set up to the ball, that my trail arm, my right arm, okay, is coming from underneath and not on top. That's a huge portion of the golf swing that immediately gets off kilter. And a lot of times too, it comes from the grip as well. So the grip is turned too far underneath. The right hand is too far on top. So it's kind of fighting their hands a little bit. Now, while I say grip is a variable, I find often that the grip can definitely control the club face and control the ball flight. So it's super important that you get the grip on, or you get your hands on the club in a way that you can manage the club face. And so what we see here is that one of the easiest ways that I always tell people, very simple way, is that people who have their elbows out at address, I say, okay, let's do a curl. Let's do a curl. And now from here, let's just rotate our hand to the side or from a little from underneath. So when that happens, most people set up and take the club like this, so their right elbow or their trail elbow is pointing out. So let's do a bicep curl, turn the wrist only, not the whole arm. So bicep curl, turn the wrist from the side, okay? That's really important. Now you can see how this goes now. Now the butt of the club is in front of my right hand. So what happens when the elbow is back here, my butt of the club is behind my right arm. So this is really important, huge step for a lot of people to know. And then from there you can just take your your left hand or your front hand grip, put it on the club, and now look at where you're at here. Now you've got a nice setup here with your grip and the right arm. So you can see you can see a little bit of my left arm there at address. So that's really important, and a step that's missed by a lot of golfers, especially the ones who miss-hit and slice and hit weak iron shots. So let's get that correct first. So right arm underneath from the side, okay? And then into our setup, we want to get about 55 to 60% of the weight on the front leg, okay, from there. And then there we want to have the shaft in front of the head. So you can see how the shaft and the grip end is it's on my left shoulder. The left shoulder is the center of the swing, by the way, and so a little detail there. But you can see how the club head is in the center of my body. So what we want to do from there is just feel like we're going to turn our shoulders in a circle with our weight forward, and that's going to give us a couple of things. It's going to keep the built-in draw, which is the offset from the club face, or from the toe to the shaft here. So that offset right there is the built-in draw. The weight's on the front foot. Okay. And from there you can see if I'm just holding the club up here, just turning my shoulders in a circle, you can see how this works here. So now if I'm just going to do the same thing, tilt it over, turn my shoulders in a circle, I'm going to have a really good impact position here. And I can hit the ball really far and straight doing that little small swing. And so you could see here that I had a very shallow divot. I wasn't hitting down into the ball. I'm not trying to hit down. I'm just allowing my radius and my arms to stay straight, my tilts to be in the right spot, and my shoulders to turn my arms around in a circle. So a lot of people will say, well, Jess, it feels more robotic. Well, exactly. Because that's what you want to feel. Most people are, first of all, they grip the club way too soft. So their hands are way too soft. The elbows are bending, the wrists are bending and flexing. And so you have a lot of variation of where the club head swings through. And we don't want that. We want to be very stable. So I like to tell people, let's keep it all constant. Let's get set up correctly. The grip and the setup, weight on the front. Let's get the setup correct. Let's feel like our arms are almost like steel rods, okay? Especially for people who are a little chicken wingy, a little flippy. Let's turn our shoulders in a circle. Let's keep our arms as straight as possible. So you can see my left and right arm here. My left and right arm are pretty straight. There's a little bend with my right arm, but I'm pushing away. I'm never pulling in. My arm isn't getting behind me here. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate again. Handle forward. So just inside the left leg, club head in the middle, and then we're gonna go ahead and hit. So you can see as I can hit shots like this all day talking to you, because I have a very stable inclination to the ground. My arms are in a really locked out position, so I can continuously hit balls like this. Boom. If you're suffering from being an inconsistent golfer, if you're topping, if you're slicing, if you're hitting off the toe, if you're just not hitting it solid, then these are the tips for you, and you should definitely take this to the course. Now it's gonna feel different. It's gonna feel a lot more locked out, but you're gonna hit the ball a lot more solid. And once you get that built into your game, then you can go ahead and start swinging bigger again. So you're not gonna, you're not always just gonna stay here like little shots, but you're going to be able to lengthen that out to hit full shots. So when I hit full shots, I go ahead, set up to the ball. Now I've got everything locked out here. My weight's on my front, my arms are straight, I've got my right arm in the right spot. Now I can take a full swing, and I just hit that, really solid 8-iron. Probably about 155 yards, 160 yards right there. Really solid, really straight. So I'm performing the 3 fundamentals: contact, power, curve. So I'm hitting everything really solid. So this is something that really simplifies the game. So when I talk about staying constant, what it means is that a lot of people are told to roll their hands and roll. So what happens, anytime you start to roll your hands, your arms can come apart, your club face, you can see the rotation in the club head here, how much that moves, and we don't want that. When we say constant, when we set up to the ball, the club's in this position right here, handle forward, club in the middle of my body, club head in the middle of my body. Now, why would I ever want to go from here and then all of a sudden rotate my hands? You can see, so now my handle's back and my club head's forward. It's almost like in a scissors action. And so we don't want that either. We don't want to have that. We want to be constant. We want to have constant contact, constant club face. We want to manage the club. We want to know where the shaft is. We want to know where the club head is. So then, we can control the 3 fundamentals. We can control contact. We can hit the ball far enough that we need to, and we can control the curve. And we can hit the ball solid off the turf without taking big giant divots. So we're taking shallow divots. When you have the handle forward and you have the weight forward, that's going to promote a shallow divot, okay? That's really, really important. Most people, they lose distance because they try to hit down on the ball too much. So what's happening is that they top a shot. People say, keep your head down and hit down. So now they're not moving their body, and they're moving the arc straight down on the ground. So they're taking away all this loft that's built in already. If you're hitting down too much, basically what happens is your downward angle of attack is too far into the ground, and that moves the loft lower. So you can get away with it, let's say a pitching wedge or 9-iron, but as soon as you go into your 4-iron or your hybrid or your fairway woods, then there's a lot less loft, so you're not getting the ball in the air nowhere near as high as you want. Those guys that launch it high, they have very shallow angles of attack. They're not hitting down 10 degrees into the ball. So that's something that's huge. So let's go over that again. So I would say the right arm, very important. Use the curling motion. Keep the handle towards the left leg, not back. Not weight back, but weight forward, handle forward. And we're gonna go ahead and hit that same shot again. So very simple. So I can repeat this over and over again as I'm talking to you and giving you these golf tips. So these are very important things. These are how to strike your irons purely, consistently, and even really, really solid, so you can hit the ball higher and farther and more consistent. So again, hope these tips really help you. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Also, please subscribe, turn on your notifications, that'd be awesome. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, A&T Cleaners here in Fort Lauderdale. My buddy Ara is awesome. Make sure if you're down here, they dry cleaners to you. They will pick up and drop off. They're an awesome service. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.